All right, there we go, guys. So we're live. So today we're going to learn the Magic Wand tool out of the 3 selection tools and when and how to use it. All right. Your success criteria is you'll be able to successfully delete the backgrounds out of images, and you'll be able to determine which images to use that Magic Wand with. Had to pause, put chapstick on. All right. So this is what we're going to do. First off, we're going to start by opening an image in Photoshop. So if you guys want to go ahead and go to your folder of images, I want you to go ahead and open up. Let's start with black soccer ball. So in order to open that up in Photoshop, you can go in Photoshop, hit Control-O and open it up. Or from this view, this dialog box right here, dialog window, you can right-click on the image you want to open, and you go down to the option that says Open With. And when it says Open With, you should see Adobe Photoshop CC. It only says Adobe Illustrator. That's fine. If it doesn't have Adobe Photoshop on there, go down to Choose Default Program. All right. And when that, well, hold on. Whose am I looking at? There you go. When it says this, it should have a little arrow next to Other Programs. Go ahead and click that down arrow next to Other Programs. Do you see where I'm talking? It's not loading. Oh, there it is. And then you should see Adobe Photoshop CC. You get it open? So we should all have our image open. Now, okay. Couple things to start off with before we even get into our Magic Wand. Okay? We've already learned that what you see on your screen is kind of like your work, your piece of paper, all right? Your document, okay? Once mine opens up finally, all right? Now, what did I say was the most important window in Photoshop that you need to pay attention to? It's in the bottom right-hand corner. What are they called? Layers, all right? Your layers panel is going to be extremely important. Now, what we're doing, this tool that we're going to be using is a selection tool. It's going to grab things, and it's going to put it in like a selection. You're going to see them. They're going to be looking like dancing ants, all right? What that means is if something is selected, the only thing you can alter or edit is inside that selection, all right? Now, you're going to notice that if you look on your first layer, you'll see a thumbnail that shows what's on that layer. There'll be the name of the layer, and then you'll see this lock to it. If an image is locked, you will not be able to alter or edit it in certain instances. So the first, oh, there's my dog. It's the Zophis. If she only knew how big of a star she was at this school, she'd be crazy. All right? But there's Michael Jackson. It's also a clipping mask. Mine does this like restore thing. I don't like it. It pulls up everything if I don't save it. I gotta turn that off. There we go. All right. So, rule of thumb. Okay. Whenever you start working in Photoshop and you bring an image in, you want to unlock the layer. All right. So, in order to unlock this layer, you're just going to click it. It will turn from background to layer 0. I'll do it again. Okay. You got this little itty bitty lock over here. I'm just going to click it. And then it will go away and your layer will turn to layer 0. Okay. That's step number 1. You should always do it. If you can't remember it, write it down. Okay. Step number 2 when working in Photoshop. Always make an original duplicate of your image before editing it, just in case you mess up and you can never go back far enough. So we're going to go ahead and make a duplicate of this right here. All right, and in order to do that, we are going to right-click on our layer. We will go up to duplicate layer. They'll ask you, what do you want to name it? You can name it duplicate, but I think it automatically says layer 0 copy, does it not? We go ahead and hit OK. All right. We now have 2 layers of the exact same thing. All right. Both of them are visible. Okay. So what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to drag our copy. We're going to bring it down to the bottom. So, nope, don't delete. You just need to drag it underneath. So it says layer 0 and copy layer 0, right? We are then going to turn this eyeball off. What that eyeball does is makes things visible and not visible. So right now, the copy on the bottom is not visible. It's turned off. To prove that, hit the eyeball next to layer 0. Notice if you turn them both off, they're both gone. Okay? All right. Turn layer 0 eyeball back on. All right, so step 1, unlock. Step 2, make a duplicate. Step 3, make sure you're on the layer you want to alter or edit. How do you know which layer is active? What did I say yesterday? Blue. It's blue, right? So you want to make sure layer 0 is blue. Okay. Now, the 3 selection tools, pen tool, quick selection tool, magic wand, 3 we're working with. We're going to start with the easiest one. All right? And I told you on the left-hand side of your Photoshop, you've got your tool window over here, and they're broken up, right? There's like little itty-bitty slits in between them, correct? The first couple of ones are selection and move tools. The magic wand is located, I believe it's the 1, 2, 3, 4th tool down. You will see it looks like a paintbrush with a lasso, right? That's the quick selection tool. We're not on that one yet. But notice in the bottom right, it's got like a little triangle, correct? That means there's hidden tools. Right click on it. You will see a little Harry Potter wand. It's called the magic wand. Go ahead and click that. And again, remember, every tool on the left has its own specific options on the top. What I want you to do right now for 3-4 minutes is just mess around with the options at the top, click around on your image, see if you can come up with a definition of what the magic wand does before I give it to you. So I want you to go ahead and explore right now. Go ahead. Talk to your partner, mess around with the options, do what you want, see what it does. Oh, here's the key. I'm sorry, I forgot to tell you this. To do a new selection, just hit Control D. Control D will deselect. It'll make those dancing ants disappear. All right? So mess around with tolerance, click around, hit Control D. Do it a couple times. I'm going to ask you, what do you think the definition is? How does it select? Talk with your partner. Come up with some type of definition. What do you think the quick selection tool selects based on? Talk to each other. Talk to each other. All right. Everybody go ahead. I want you to, if you want to, duplicate your copy again, your copy layer, so you get a brand new one up there. Or you can just hit Control-Alt-Z till it all comes back, and then hit Control-D to deselect everything. All right. Then I want you to go to that huge list of images that you downloaded. And I want you to open up the United States Women's National Team, the USWNT one. Go and open that up in Photoshop for me. What's step number 1? Unlock it. Then make a duplicate. Drag it down, turn it off. And now I want you to click around with that magic wand and notice the difference. This might help you come up with a definition. You didn't download that one yet? All right, click that one. Download it.
Oh, you can like adjust their face.
So save it. Just an open folder. All right, and drag that into your folder. Save Photoshop. Good. Now open that in Photoshop. There you go. All right. Remember, unlock. Reversers. Oh, bring that one down. Bring that copy later.
That's a joke, though. He's got a friend named Taco. Yeah, he's Spanish.
All right.
You can.
Now, click around. See if you can come up with a definition of what the magic wand tool does. Mr. Ruzhowitz.
This is Disney World.
Mr. Ruzhowitz. Yes. Good. Control minus. Give you another minute, then I'm going to start asking. What does it do?
Oh, dude, I keep their face.
Now, guys, these are selection tools, so it's selecting, but how is it selecting things? A couple of your guys looks like this. It's not a small image. You just zoomed out. Zooming in and out is Control plus is zoom in. Control minus is zoom out. You're not making anything bigger. You're just looking closer and farther away. All right, here we go. Let's go ahead and see if people can come up with a definition of this magic wand. So again, it selects parts of the image, but how does it select? So Sam, can you tell me what this tool is doing? It's selecting different areas, but how? By colors, right? Notice it's grabbing certain colors, correct? It's grabbing, if I click the red, so let's go to the United States Women's Team right here. I'm going to zoom in so you can see where I'm clicking. All right. I've got my tool here. If I click her red shirt, notice it's selecting just the red part, right? Not the white. But then I want you to also notice, do you see how this is a darker red? Almost blackish? It didn't select that, did that? Because the program distinguished that that is too different than the color that I picked. All right? So this magic wand, guys, is going to select parts of an image based on color and tolerance. All right? And by tolerance, I mean this. All right? Everybody hit Control D on their image so it deselects. There's no more dancing ants. I want everybody to zoom into this part of the picture. Again, Control plus, or you can do Alt and use your scroll mouse, and it will zoom in and out as well. So zoom into Abby Wambach, who's just retired. Yeah, dude, just like anything else there, Xavier. All right. I want everybody to have the magic wand. Now, here's the tolerance part of it. Think of tolerance as like your parents. If your parents tolerate a lot of things, they're not going to get mad at a lot, are they? They're going to accept a lot of things you do, correct? If your parents are less tolerant or really strict, they're only going to like one thing. They're going to be very mad if you do a lot of things. So they're only going to like one thing. So let's use that concept here. Remember, our options are at the top, right? Let's bring our tolerance down all the way to 1. Again, up here at the top, change tolerance to 1. Did you right-click Save As when you did instead of downloading them? I'd have to. Yours is blurry because you got a smaller file for some reason. Just pay attention then, all right? All right, so the tolerance is 1. Now, again, if I click right here, it should highlight all the red, right? Go ahead and click right above the Nike swoosh. Change your tolerance to 1. All right, notice it only selected like 5 pixels, right? That's because our tolerance is really low. We're only going to select certain hues, and they better be really close to each other. The program is saying, hey, you want me to be really strict? Well, I'm strict. All the other colors on the outside of those are different. Go ahead and change that tolerance. Let's move it up to, let's say, 75. If yours is selecting a lot of things, something's up with your images. I think you have a wrong image or you're on the wrong layer or something. If you're selecting a lot of things, pay attention up here first, and I'll come around in a second. I want you to click the exact same spot. All right, I'm going to hit Control-D to deselect, and I'm going to click right above the swoosh again. All right, and now notice how much more I've selected, right? It says, all right, well, I'll take all these hues of red. I'll even take that person that's in the crowd over there because he's got a red shirt on. However, though, I'm not going to take that Nike sign because that Nike sign is so different than the original pixel I selected. I'm not going to select that. Okay? Go ahead and hit Control-D. So, Weissig, why are you telling me that this thing selects according to hue and color? Well, when you're trying to isolate an image or take the background out of something, this tool is good for selecting backgrounds that have how many colors do you think I'm looking for? What did you say? I heard it. One. All right. 1 hue or 1 color. So let's go back to that soccer ball. And let's say I want just the black soccer ball. I want to get rid of this white background. So it doesn't matter what my tolerance is. This is so different here. If I click the white, notice it's stopping along the black soccer ball. And now if I hit delete, I've isolated now my soccer ball, and I can move this and put this in its own background. So, for example, I know this bottom part right here has got a shadow. Don't worry. Okay? Yes? Your layer's probably locked, isn't it? Yeah. Remember step 1, step 2? Yeah. If it says, if a dialog box pops up, it means you didn't unlock the layer and all that. But, hey, I've only got 2 minutes, so pay attention. All right? We've now isolated our soccer ball, right? Now, say I wanted to put this soccer ball right next to Abby Wambach's head. Pay attention before you try it. I'm going to click, hold. I'm not letting go. I'm going to drag up to that tab. I'm still holding down. I'm going to let it switch over. I'm still holding down. And I drag down. Now, yes, it's huge, but we'll learn resizing tomorrow. All right? So, again, we learned the magic wand helps delete and select backgrounds with how many colors? 1. All right, we'll work more with the magic wand tomorrow. Go ahead. You do not need to save these images because we're going to pull them up again tomorrow. All right? Edgar. Hold on. Let me get out of this.